If you were able to create a step-by-step description of your job that someone else could follow to do your job, then you're going to be replaced by AI, inevitably in the not too distant future. And the way to not get replaced by AI is to become irreplaceable by AI, which is to say, it can't just be following some kind of step-by-step instructions. You have to bring your own creativity to it. You have to be creating some kind of new way to do things, or a new style, or something where you're bringing your own creative addition or twist on whatever your job you're doing. So there's so many jobs that are going to be replaced by AI, because if you can give a step-by-step instruction, you're going to be able to give it to an AI and they're going to be able to do it. It's happening quicker with knowledge workers, meaning non-manual labor, where, anything that involves computers, basically. And if your job's on a computer and it can have step-by-step instructions, you're going to be replaced within the next few years by AI, for sure. And then more and more of the manual labor will be replaced by AI and robots. But that will take longer, because obviously it's harder and more expensive, really, to build more robots than it is to just duplicate AI software programs, right? So, point of this video is possibly to scare you. I'm not going to say it's not to scare you, but it is also to motivate you. And so probably a little bit of a combination of fear and inspiration that I'm going to use here to get you to start becoming the creative best version of yourself. In other words, everybody has creativity in them. It's just a matter of how much they're using it or not. And a lot of basically since the Industrial Revolution, a lot of the workplaces, companies, the way they function were designed so that people could be trained in step-by-step instructions, and everyone could be confident that someone's going to do the same job as whoever they replaced. So then if people quit or they get fired, they can just be replaced. Or they can get promoted and then someone else can replace them. And so the whole work system, and then also the school system, was designed for that. The school system is designed to train people to enter the workplace. And so this idea of following step-by-step instructions, minimizing creativity, because creativity is hard to replace. And the people controlling the companies that want more workers, they want to be able to replace people, because it's much better for business in one sense, particularly the first kind of big businesses, factories and that kind of thing. They wanted just people that could be trained, replaced easily. And so school system, if you came up in the school system, particularly in the public school system or a traditional private school, obviously more and more there's kind of popping up alternative style schools, but particularly most schools, definitely ones I went to, they minimize creativity, right? The whole thing is this is how you do math. These are the history things you need to know and remember them and then regurgitate them on a test. Science, this is how you do it. And so very, very minimal creativity. Maybe you had an English teacher that encouraged some creative writing. Maybe your school had music and art still. A lot of schools, it's going away from the budget. So maybe you had it once a week. I think I had it once a week. So minimal creativity and maximum step-by-step instructions, right? Follow the guide, right? And this was all good and fine when there were a lot of jobs for people who could follow step-by-step instructions, but there's about to be none. So, or very few. We need to start in getting people to become more creative and tap into their creativity. And that's one of my motivations in life that I'm realizing recently, is that, first of all, I'm a creative person and able to be very creative, and I want to be even more creative. I've written a lot of stories, mostly in screenplay form, movie scripts. I actually made one movie, I wrote and directed. It's on Amazon Prime and Apple TV if you want to check it out. but I want to do more. I want to do more creative stuff, and I continue to do more, and I've made a lot of other kinds of story-driven content, videos, and written for different kinds of games and other such things. But the point is, I want to create more, but I want to get other people to create more. And I've done that in different ways in my life. I've taught improv classes, I've taught stand-up comedy classes, and for the past 7 weeks or so, I've been doing this creativity workshop here in Bali live, where getting anyone that wants to create more or better, whether they're artist, entrepreneur, content creator, any kind of event creator, producer, anyone creating anyone trying to make something, how can you be more creative? How can you make it more unique and more uniquely you, and something that only you can create, which is what I'm saying in this video is everybody needs to get there. Everybody needs to find and nurture their creative output to the point where only they can create it. Because if it's replicable, then AI will replicate it and you will be gone. It's not limited to art, although I think it's a very valuable to develop your creativity by doing art. Even if art isn't your main thing, maybe it's just, I would think of it for some people, if it's not your main thing, or if it's not a major thing, it's not something you really want to pursue, or you're not that into it, I would think of it like the gym. Like people work out for health reasons, to stay in shape and to feel better outside of the gym, right? A lot of people, myself included, don't love the gym itself, like the actual experience of working out the gym. Some people do, and more power to you. But they do it, and then they feel better outside of the gym. And this is one of the things I think I'm going to be continuously emphasizing in my content, which is everybody at least needs to be doing something artistic for like the gym. Like for some people, it might just be like the gym. For other people, it would be more of a hobby. For other people, much more of a craft. And for a lot of people, their main life pursuit or mission, or hopefully everything, it'd be their job as well. But doing something like painting, writing, but not like business writing, not copywriting, but creative writing, fiction writing, or sculpting, or dancing, or any of the arts. It could be a performance art, it could be a visual art. But the point is it stimulates creativity. If you have to paint something, make a painting, or write a new story, anything like that, it's stimulating the creative parts of your brain. And that's, I guess, to be more specific, when I was saying it's like the gym, you have to, like any muscle, you have to build the creative muscles in your brain, or stimulate the creative pathways and centers in your brain so that they become stronger. Because for a lot of people, they've been tamped down by the school system, then the job, and then also just watching social media, TikTok videos, etc., and not spending time creating something from you, like you're just consuming. And obviously consuming content of any kind or art can and is inspirational and influential. Of course, all artists are take a lot from their favorite artists, right? Certainly I've taken a lot from my favorite movies, of course. But if you're spending all your time consuming and you're not spending time creating your own stuff, well, you're not working out the creative muscles in your brain. And that's the big thing that I would say this video is ultimately about, is you need to start working out those muscles in your brain, because otherwise you're going to get replaced in your job and you're not going to get a new job. That's even more. Thing to do now is not to freak out about the job. Keep working the job, keep making the money, but start working out the creative parts of your brain, and then you'll apply it, and then you can start applying them. But first, to start working them out. The first step is to start doing something that makes you create something new, like a painting, drawing, writing fiction, It could be dance, but not if you're just learning a very specific dance that has no, that you're not going to create a new thing to it. Dance, if you're just like making up your own dance moves in some way or adding your own flair to it, but something where you have to be creating something new to work out these muscles. And that's the big thing. And it can be a twist on something that exists. Obviously, you can take a dance and put your own twist on it. You don't have to start from scratch and invent a whole new dance. That's not the point. But the point is, if you're just, again, following step-by-step instructions, that's not going to work out the creative parts of your brain, and it's not what attempting to convince you to do in this video. Finding something, and I haven't listed every possible, obviously, creative pursuit, artistic pursuit, but you get the idea. Somehow you have to be creating something new to work out these muscles in your brain. Something I've been doing a lot lately, and like I said, I've been teaching, is comedy improv. I think that's a great one, because it forces you to create something new on the spot. Like you not create something. So it is, and because you're doing it with other people, and say you're in a class and it's like your turn, so you have to do it. So it's like joining a gym class, right? Going to a gym class as opposed to just working out on your own. There's people, you get forced to do the exercise, whereas if you're just on your own, maybe you won't do it, right? So that's one I recommend a lot, is comedy improv, because that'll stimulate creative centers in your brain. Doesn't matter if you want to perform, doesn't matter if you care about being funny, although it helps everything, social and business, even, to be funny. That's a great one, comedy improv. A good friend of mine from improv class in LA was a lawyer. He just wanted to be able to be more creative on his feet and in the courtroom, and engage a jury better and get them laughing, get them on his side. Point is, it was for other things, but he did comedy improv, took a couple classes. So that's one I recommend a lot. But anything creating something new. Get the point. Start working out those creative muscles. It's absolutely going to be necessary, or you will be replaced and you're not going to be able to get a new job. Get creative. Don't freak out. Just start doing something creative and creating, so that you get stronger muscles, and then you'll be able to do creative jobs, whatever that looks like. And it's going to look different than it does right now. When I say creative jobs, it doesn't necessarily mean graphic designer or something like that, like the kind of what we think of now as creative jobs. But the only jobs that are going to exist are ones where you're bringing your own creativity to it. So it's going to be all kinds of different industries, but you're going to need to bring creativity to it. And the way you're going to do that is if you have strong creative muscles in your brain. So start working them out now.